Okay, ancient Rome, 100 AD. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. Because Rome wasn't just a civilization. Rome was the civilization. Roads, aqueducts, laws, architecture. These people built things that are still standing 2,000 years later. This is going to be great. I read the first 3 chapters. Gorgeous stuff. Didn't quite finish it. I did not read that part. Rome, 100 AD, let's go. Oh wow. Okay, this is Rome. Look at that. Look at those columns. This is the civilization. I knew it. I knew it would be like this. Or the stepping stones. The Romans built stepping stones across the streets. I thought that was for floods. It was not for floods. This is fine. This is completely historically normal. My accommodation for the night, an insula, Roman apartment building, 6 floors. I'm on the top floor because it was cheaper. This will become relevant. The ground floor has running water, courtesy of Rome's aqueduct system. Genuinely one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history. I know this because I can hear it. From up here, where there is no water. Pipe doesn't go above floor 2. So if I want water, I carry it up 6 floors myself. In a jug. Every day. That's Marcus. I've decided his name is Marcus. Marcus was here before me. Marcus has squatters' rights. No kitchen. The insula didn't have kitchens. Open flame in a 6-story wood and brick building packed with people was considered a fire hazard. Which is correct. So nobody cooked at home. And the bathroom is... that Roman law technically required you to shout a warning before emptying your chamber pot out the window. The warning was cave. In practice, nobody shouted it. If someone emptied a chamber pot on you from above and you could prove it was deliberate, you could sue them. If it was an accident, you just had to accept it. The Roman legal system was remarkably sophisticated. I'm going to take the stairs very carefully. The insulae burned down constantly. Rome had such a fire problem that Augustus created the Vigiles, a firefighting force of 7,000 men. 7,000. My building, wood framing, 6 floors, 1 exit, candle is the only light source. This building is going to burn down. I'm going to sleep with my shoes on. There's nowhere to put this. I mean, there's the window. But I just watched someone get hit by one of these 4 hours ago and I have some personal ethics about that. So I'm going to carry this down 6 flights of stairs, in the dark, in a city with no street lighting, where throwing things at strangers is technically illegal but culturally accepted. Okay, new plan. I'm going to the public bathroom. The Romans built public latrines throughout the city, free to use. Some of them were actually quite well constructed. Stone floors, running water channels. Rome took public sanitation seriously. This is going to be... there are no walls between the seats. There are no doors. There are no dividers. There are just 20 people. That man is conducting a business meeting. That man brought reading material. They have made eye contact with me. They are not embarrassed. I am embarrassed for all of us. The xylospongium, a sponge, on a stick, shared by everyone. You use it and put it back in the channel. The channel had water running through it. The water ran from the same aqueduct that supplied drinking water. I'm going to let that sit for a moment. The Romans gave us roads, democracy, and concrete. And this. They also gave us this. Same aqueduct, drinking water, sponge channel, same system. Connected. I'm going to walk away now. Here's the thing. The Romans were not stupid. The Cloaca Maxima, their main sewer, was so well built that parts of it are still functional today. Still. Today. A 2,000-year-old sewer that still works. The Cloaca Maxima, built around 600 BC, still partially functional today. The execution of the system was just socially, philosophically, olfactorily, a different methane. Accumulated methane from the sewers beneath the latrines could build up and ignite. Spontaneous explosions in public bathrooms. This is documented. This happened. Romans made offerings to the goddess Fortuna before using public latrines. Not because they were superstitious. Well, a bit because they were superstitious, but also because the toilet could literally explode. I was just in there for 4 minutes. Okay, new plan. I'm going back. I'm going to skip the Forca. I'm going to focus on the good stuff. The food, the culture, the baths. You're staying here. Marcus stays. Marcus does not stay. Attempt 2. Daytime Rome. The Forum. The market stalls. This is what I came for. The streets are actually busy and impressive. Every stall has it. Every dish has it. It's on everything. That's fish. That's 2 to 3 month fish in the sun. Whole fish, intestines, heads, blood in a vat, left outside until it liquefies. Then pour off the liquid. That liquid is garum. It's on every single dish. The smell was so catastrophic that garum factories were banned from cities by Roman law. Made outside, transported in sealed jars. Sealed jars. And it still smells like this. The Romans didn't experience garum the way I'm experiencing garum. They grew up with it. Their noses were calibrated for it. Romans described garum as rich, savory, complex, what we now call umami. Some historians compare it to Worcestershire sauce. Those people are correct, and also they can have my portion. The bread is actually good, dense and warm. Okay, it's good. The wine is interesting, sweet, very sweet for wine, almost too sweet. I'll find out why later. That's going to be a whole thing. But for now, Rome, good wine. Look at this forum. I'm genuinely having a nice cave. They didn't shout it. This is fine. This is completely historically normal. The Thermae, Roman public baths. This is the one I've been looking forward to, because after this morning, I need a bath. The baths of Caracalla held 1,600 people at a time. Heated floors, cold pools, hot pools, libraries, gymnasiums, the price of entry, basically free. Rome gave its citizens access to this every cold bath first, then warm, then hot. Like a modern spa, but Roman. It loosened muscles, cleaned the skin. Romans scraped off the oil and sweat with a curved tool called a strigil instead of soap. Soap existed but wasn't widely used for bathing yet. The strigil, a curved scraping tool. You scrape the skin clean instead of washing. This is actually very civilized. I'm revising my opinion of Rome upward. The water is never changed. I need you to understand that. The pool holds the same water all day. 1,600 people pass through. The water gets warmer and denser, and by mid-afternoon it's the color of weak tea made by someone who gave up. Roman doctors, actual Roman doctors, wrote warnings advising against bathing in the public thermae, citing skin infections, eye infections, ear infections. The Roman medical establishment told them not to do this. Nobody listened. Romans bathed here every day. This is fine. This is completely historically normal. The gladiators trained nearby. After training, their sweat and skin oil was scraped off with the strigil and collected in a jar and sold as a cosmetic and aphrodisiac. Women of Rome paid money for this, to rub on their skin. Gladiator sweat, bottled, for sale. I'm not going to think about what else is in this pool. I put it back. I want that on record. I picked it up and I put it back. The wine. Let's talk about the wine. Romans made a sweetened wine called sapa, produced by boiling grape juice in lead vessels. The lead dissolved into the liquid and formed lead acetate, which tastes sweet, which they liked, and then drank, constantly. Lead poisoning, chronic, widespread, especially among the wealthy. Some historians believe the madness of certain Roman emperors wasn't madness, it was lead. How much of this have I had today? How much have I had today?
Oh no!
Nighttime in Rome. Rome had no public street lighting. Zero. The city that built the Pantheon went completely dark at sunset. Wealthy Romans hired torchbearers to walk with them at night. I am not a wealthy Roman. I have a candle stub. The candle stub is almost done. There was also the windows. Every window above me, every chamber pot, every unemptied jar from every insula floor. Reign of Romans, all of it coming down. At night you can't see it coming. And now I have no light. Okay, it's dark. This is fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine. There's someone behind me. There's three people behind me. They don't look like they're also lost. They look like they have a plan. Roman jurist Ulpian actually wrote about this, formally, as legal documentation, that walking Rome at night without an escort was essentially an invitation to be... Okay, new plan. The last plan. I'm going back one more time and I am not leaving the forum. I'm going to stand in the middle of Rome and I'm going to appreciate it properly before I come home permanently. One more time. Rome built 11 aqueducts. They carried over 1 million cubic meters of water into the city every day. Fresh water, clean water, from mountains, through stone channels, across hundreds of kilometers, by gravity alone. Some of them are still partially functional. 2,000 years later, they built 472 miles of roads just in Italy. Straight roads, engineered roads, roads that connected the entire empire, roads that Rome had newspapers. The Acta Diurna, daily events carved onto stone or metal, posted in public places. 1 million people could access public news. In 100 AD, Rome had a postal service, courts, written law, lawyers, a senate, elections, terms of office. They invented concrete. The Pantheon's dome is still the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world, built 125 AD, perfectly intact. Nothing we've built since has needed less maintenance. Here's the thing about Rome that took me all day to understand. Rome was not one thing. It was not the aqueducts or the Foraca, not the Pantheon or the chamber pots, not the lead wine or the road system. It was all of it. At the same time, all of it built by the same people. The same civilization that engineered the most sophisticated water distribution system in the ancient world shared a sponge on a stick, in public, together, while conducting business meetings. Every city you've ever lived in is a descendant of this. Your sewage system, Rome. Your road grid, Rome. Your apartment building, Rome. Your public health infrastructure, Rome eventually, after a lot of trial and error and one shared sponge. The gap between what Rome built and how Rome smelled is maybe the most human thing in history. They were reaching for something extraordinary with hands they hadn't washed yet. And they got there, mostly, in some areas. Not the sponge area, they never really cracked that one. Your tap water. You turned a handle and clean water came out. That is the endpoint of a 2,000-year engineering project that started with 11 stone channels cut through mountains. Your toilet. private, works, doesn't explode. An improvement on a 2,000-year design process that involved a communal sponge on a stick and a goddess you prayed to before sitting down. Your apartment building has a fire exit, has running water on every floor, has, crucially, no Marcus. Garage. Marcus, yes. Apartment Marcus, no. Rome didn't fall because it was weak. Rome fell after 600 years of being the most powerful force on Earth. 600 years. The United States is 250 years old. Rome ran for 600, with lead plumbing and a communal sponge. They were doing something right. What I cannot tell you is what any of them smelled like. I can tell you it was impressive, and I can tell you it was a lot. And I can tell you that Garum, 2,000 years later, on the other side of a time machine, in a garage in the present, I can still smell it. I'm Dave. That was ancient Rome. If you want to see me go somewhere worse, and you do, I can tell, you absolutely do. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me where to go next. I'll read the whole book this time. I won't read the whole book. Your options. The Plague, where I will almost certainly get the plague. A Viking raid, where I will almost certainly be a thing that gets raided. Versailles, which sounds luxurious and is not. Trust me on that one. Vote in the comments. Please don't send me to the plague. Same time next week. Real history. Terrible. I didn't touch that. That's doing that by itself. That dial is spinning and I didn't... Okay, new plan. Rome built roads that lasted 2,000 years. Rome built aqueducts that still carry water today. Rome built the Pantheon, the Forum, the foundation of Western law. Rome also shared a sponge on a stick, in public, while conducting business meetings.